put on their car to track the miles that they travel. That's kind of Big Brother-ish, so I don't think we're quite ready for that.
That is Democratic State Representative Jack Serra, who believes that state lawmakers need to find other ways to fund highways.
We should look at things like toll roads and that for new construction.
Your ABC 6 first warning weather forecast today, mostly cloudy with a stray shower possible and a high of 45. For tonight, mostly cloudy and a low of 27. As we move into Sunday, we'll see snow showers with 1 to 3 inches possible by the evening. More snow to the south, less to the north, and a high of 33. I'm Sean Gallagher. More news at the bottom of the hour and on demand at 610WTVN.com.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Kids everywhere are giving their parents the business when it comes to cereal. Take a listen.
Mom, Dad, sit down. We need to talk.
Okay.
Our cereals have way too much sugar, so we bought this box of Grainberry cereal with Onyx.
How did you buy cereal? You're 5 and 8.
Please hold all questions to the end. Grainberry has less sugar than other cereals, and the sugar it does have won't make us all crazy. Grainberry also has tons of antioxidants, more than any cereal, fruit, or vegetable. In conclusion, Grainberry is super yummy. We should all have a bowl right now.
I'll grab the spoons.
Yes!
Nice job, kids. The amazing Onyx sorghum grain, found only in Grainberry cereals, provides the perfect balance of antioxidants and plant-based fiber to slow sugar absorption. So get to Giant Eagle right now and tame your family's sugar intake with Grainberry cereal.
Grainberry.
Letter to the editor. Sir, it's been reported in the public press that the Honorable Attorney General of these United States has proposed that Congress enact a law requiring the registration of every firearm possessed within the United States. The purpose of this law would presumably be to assist in the apprehension of evildoers. May I point out to the committee that there is already sufficient authority vested in the Office of the Attorney General to carry out any and all investigations which may fall within the jurisdiction of his office, and that if a law such as is proposed is enacted, it will not accomplish the outward purpose of keeping firearms out of the possession of the criminal element. It will, in my opinion, simply result in a hardship upon the thousands of American citizens who consider it their constitutional right to bear arms, and will deprive them of the pleasure and health of following an ancient and honorable pursuit, which we consider a part of the birthright of every American. Signed, Sylvester Rabadan, Field and Stream Magazine, March 17th, 1938.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon. Welcome to On Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility located at 999 Bethel Road. I'm your host, Eric, along with my father, Phil. Guys, can you believe that was written in 1938?
Nothing has changed. That's why it's so frustrating to listen to all the rhetoric that's spewed almost every day by the politicians.
And that rhetoric has even stepped up a notch now with the Democrats coming in and controlling the House.
H.R. 8.
Right. It's crazy. It is. It's absolutely crazy that for almost 100 years now we've been having this same discussion. You know, that's incredible.
It's incredible. And like you said, it just doesn't change. It just seems to get worse with some politicians.
And once again, a prudent person will tell you it's not going to fix the problem, you know?
No, and there's too many. There's too many of these people out there who aren't, you know, I'm going to stop short of calling them, you know, what they really are, but what they are uneducated.
They're ignorant, because
exactly.
They're ignorant just simply means they're not educated in that.
Well,
and how that it doesn't mean that they're stupid. It just means that not for all of them. But
I have a different name for them, though, John.
I know.
Well, you know something.
You can't
else?
say that one on the air.
Oh, I can.
Something else too that's interesting. If it's anything else where they're having issues
regarding a certain thing or what's going on, they'll talk to all of the people that are involved in that field. You know, they'll get a group of people together and try and figure out a cure. But when it comes to firearms, that's not the case.
Ronnie, that's a perfect point. I mean, that is exactly what we've been saying for a long time.
And it seems to be their only focus. They don't have a focus. Their whole purpose there for the Democrats, I hate to say it, seems to be just that. Every bill, everything, every day something comes out, and that's the only focus that they seem to be able to
It kind of makes me think of that one meme that I see on Facebook all the time where it says, you know, drunk drivers are killing people, so instead of taking away the drunk driver's license, we're going to take all the legal driver's license away.
Same argument.
Yeah, it's like
the same argument. I have to give credit to Paul here, sitting to my left, for providing us that magazine.
That what you know what I was getting rid of junk when I gave it to you. I was into antiques and everything, and that was laying around, and I finally gave it up. And I didn't know that article was in, or that letter.
Is that Norman Rockwell?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I think so.
On the front page of that, and when you open it up, it's a picture. It's a big ad from Babe Ruth showing the 22 Remington clean bore.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But we are the owners of LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility and are active law enforcement. But for 1 hour on Saturdays, we put together a group of firearm experts to discuss new products in the market, training tips, and oftentimes political topics surrounding the Second Amendment. Our commitment, though, has always been to bring you the facts about our industry and ultimately help our listeners and our customers with safe, responsible ownership of firearms. Today on the show, actually, I want to take a step back and thank the Honorable Jim Sapika for jumping on last week. I don't know, guys. I could sit and talk to that man for hours.
Hours, yeah. He's what a gentleman also. What a great guy.
He is, and we're going to have to take a field trip down there, I think. He runs the NRA, one of the NRA, actually all the NRA museums, I believe. So, what a neat person. Well, this week we're going to get caught up on some of the news. There's certainly a ton of news out there we want to get you caught up on. Unfortunately, with the House being Democratic controlled and with some of them not being very intelligent people in regards to firearms, we had that written differently.
Okay,
we're seeing an onslaught of crazy, off-the-wall proposals, and it's scary to think how much time and effort is being put into things that they know, one, has no impact on crime rates and so forth, and then two, what is just a waste for the taxpayers' money. But they continue to do it.
And it makes, basically what it does is it makes law-abiding citizens criminals. You know,
it does.
And those people that they say won't be able to get a gun because of this legislation or what. Somebody.
Criminals are criminals because they don't obey the law.
Yeah. Hey, is my shockwave legal yet?
Well, we're going to get to that.
You mean your alleged proposed shockwave?
Yes, the one I was thinking about purchasing.
That one, yeah.
Actually, yours is probably one of the only legal ones in Ohio.
One of the only legal ones.
That's
hey,
it.
Look, all right, go ahead, Eric.
Well,
I don't want. Well, you know what your niece and nephew did in the state track meet today?
No, I do not.
Okay, Abby came in 8th, which that placed in the state and everything in the 4x8 relay, and Andrew came in 8th in the mile.
Whoa!
After he pulled a muscle,
really,
he kept on running.
But
my grandkids do.
Yep.
That they take after their grandpa. You know that.
Well, that is my godson.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Know, and maybe some of those running traits got passed
That's
along.
what I'm thinking.
I didn't see that.
Congratulations to those two.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Fortunately, he's just chasing runners and not criminals.
Yeah, right. Well, we're also going to talk today about some fun stuff. You know, some of our most popular firearms that we talk about all the time. Once you recognize the Glock 19, the Smith & Wesson Shield, but do you know much about the CZ Ramey? That has become one of the most popular firearms we sell. Or how about one of our top-selling pistols here? That's a .22 Magnum. Well, we're going to talk about some of those most popular, uncommon firearms that you may not have heard of, and that it might be worth taking a gander at sometime.
I know some of them, as soon as you hear of them, you're like, wow, I got to get one of those.
I know. I mean, some of these, because we sit around all day long and look at this stuff, it becomes second nature, but it's so neat to see some of these customers when you show them, some of these, and they're like, wow, I didn't even know that was out there. So we wanted to take a step back and talk about some of those not so common firearms that are, some of them very reasonably priced, and some of them very popular in their own right.
And I would go on to say that we probably have the largest number of different handguns anywhere in Central Ohio. I mean, we don't have them all, that's for certain, but boy,
there's certainly a variety out there.
What a variety we have.
At 1:15, Ronnie's going to have the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Blackwing Shooting Center. It's actually one from one manufacturer that I love, and I'll tell you, Ronnie, I'm going to have to admit, I saw this come in, and I was like, kind of disappointed. But you did a little research on it. We sold it meantime, and now I want one.
Now, is that Ronnie, our gunsmith? You're talking
Gunsmith Ronnie.
Gunsmith. Okay. Yeah. Wanted to bring that up.
Did he pay him to say that?
Thank you, Tom.
That's coming up at 1:15. We'd like to thank our sponsors, though. Rampart Hosting, Toyota West, Jackson Lawn Care and Egress Windows, the Trigger Group, Blackwing Shooting Centers, our good friends over there, River's Edge Cutlery, great guys there as well at CNS Engraving, and of course LEPD Training Facility. Joining me today in the LEPD studios, JC from the sales team. Speaking of the sales team, it was a little unfair today because you got to come in and see the spring cleaning sale before it got rolled out.
I did. I actually got to see that yesterday as we were picking them out, and it was amazing. We have over 50, I think around 50 firearms. I said over 50, about 50 firearms that are, at or below dealer cost, and so we have some great handguns, shotguns.
These are all new. These are all new.
Brand new. Yeah, these aren't used. These are
some of them are just
new.
One left in stock, and that's why they're on sale. And like John said, some of them are below cost. I mean, they're all priced at cost. Many are below cost. So watch for that list to roll out this week.
It's exciting.
Ronnie from Boom Boom Tactical, the gunsmith, sits to my right. Hey, did you, Ronnie? I didn't even talk to you about it. Were you drooling over that Daniel Defense we got in this week? Did you see that?
Didn't you see you had to clean it off?
Yeah, I saw those drool marks on there.
The drool.
Those came
that
from.
thing's sweet.
It
really is.
It's
just a perfectly made rifle.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's ever been fired.
Is it still here?
It was this morning when I went into my office. I haven't looked since.
And
I'm surprised.
It's gray. It's a really nice shade of gray, a little different from the old black rifle, and it's just beautifully decked out. I mean, really.
A lot of the agencies nowadays are going to Daniel Defense.
Exactly. Yep, there has been several.
Stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and Paul sits to my left, my father and co-owner, and kind of as you mentioned before, hopefully this week or very, very soon, the legislation is going to be fixed, and you are not going to be the only owner of a Shockwave.
So I can take it out of the closet then, right?
You can take it out of the closet.
All right.
You are always legal. And, hey, look, there's the Daniel Defense walking over as we speak. So if you're watching on Facebook, you can actually see it. And actually, I'm going to pass it off to you guys so I can continue
just pass
talking.
the baton. Okay, it'll stop here. Go right into my car. This is beautiful.
If you missed the show, you can always catch the podcast. That's at 610WTVN.com. It's also on iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. It's on Facebook Live. That's kind of a neat place to watch it because you get to see everything we're talking about right here live in person, handling it right here on Facebook Live, and the post stays out there afterwards. If you're not a Facebook person, go to YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, LEPD Firearms. We download them all after the show, so you can check out all the shows out there in high definition and see the behind the scenes during the commercial breaks and so forth.
And iHeartRadio and iTunes? Wow.
And Google Podcast.
And Google Podcast. Oh, my goodness.
Yep, all of those. And, of course, if you have one of those fine little Alexa machines, you can say, hey, Alexa, tune to 610 WTVN radio, and boom, it comes right up. I know my son doesn't even know what a transistor radio is these days. He just talks to this thing, and that's where he gets all his information.
Phil, you've got a different version of Alexa, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him in trouble again.
So before we go any further, I know JC and Ronnie have a couple pieces of news to get you up to speed. What do you have there, JC?
There's so much news going on out there, but locally today in the dispatch, my lovely bride actually texted me this while I was here at work. On the paper today, they disclosed that Ohioans renewed a record number of 98,927 concealed handgun licenses last year. So I think it's almost twice as much as before in a year as far as being renewed. So almost 100,000. That's really good. New permits overall in the state were down slightly, but they were still 69,327 new concealed handgun licenses issued in the state of Ohio. Here in Franklin County, of course, it's the most populous one. We're up 12% with new and renewed licenses. So,
and we see that right here in the store. I mean, our classes continue to be packed. And then, we talk about renewals, John. We did something we started actually several months ago where the first 2 hours of our class are dedicated to the laws. And those laws change from time to time. And if you've had your CCW for 5 years or 10 years, it is not a bad idea to sit in on one of those refreshers, so you can actually sit in on the first 2 hours of our CCW class and get a little refresher. It's very inexpensive, and you get all the updates, and so that's something that a lot of people are doing now.
And if you've ever been in the military, the state of Ohio has allowed you to get your license for free, but you really should stop into one of our classes that we have the first 2 hours and at least learn about the law. But you won't have to take a class to get it, and you won't have to pay for your license if you've ever been in the military. So it's a good thing. Stop in here, sign up for the class, get some knowledge about what's going on.
Great. Well, when we come back from the break, it is Ronnie's turn for the Gun of the Week. Ronnie, I wish you had it in front of you because I tell you, I am itching for one of these now. It is it's something new, and it's going to make you think. If you've been waiting for the shockwave, it might make you reconsider.
Because there's all kinds of stuff available
All kinds of stuff. We're on target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range. We'll be right back after the break.
One of the first things DeWine has to do when he gets in office is raise the Ohio gas tax.
Joel Riley and Columbus's Morning News.
Now Governor DeWine has to kind of deal with a problem that he inherited on pretty much day one.
They're talking about making these variable speed limit signs all over the state, and I can't imagine that that's a cheap endeavor.
Monday morning.
Where's that money coming from?
Well, it's going to come from you and me in Main Street, Ohio. There is room in that budget to find money for transportation projects, but they're not going to do that. Republican control, and we act like a bunch of Democrats.
On News Radio 610 WTVN.
Hi, we're the Gore family, owners of Blackwing.
That's
right. Blackwing is family owned and operated.
But Rex,
I know.
Currently 39 degrees, sir.
I know.
We listen and adjust to the needs of our guests.
Mark, what else does that mean?
It means
What you got there for temp,
money
Scotty?
stays right here in their community.
39.
All right. Hey, Attorney General Dave Yost might call in there during the show, too, so
All right, cool.
if you get a random call.
You got it.
Because that's what family is for.
Isn't it time to visit the family? We'll see you soon at Blackwing.
If you're in the market for high-end kitchen knives, tactical blades, or shaving supplies, go to where the professionals shop. River's Edge Cutlery, conveniently located in Hilliard. You'll find some of the best knives from Spyderco, Microtech, Benchmade, and much more. Their one-on-one service and commitment to helping you find the right knife for your needs is unsurpassed. Stop by and see your friends at River's Edge Cutlery. That's riversedgecutlery.com. Recommended by LEPD Firearms.
iHeartRadio makes it simple to find a podcast for whatever topic interests you. And the hottest topic right now, true crime. So, iHeartRadio declares this week True Crime Podcast Week. Get ready to discover something new, like Monster, Zodiac Killer.
He seems to crave publicity.
Dr. Death, Over My Dead Body, The Dropout, Dirty John, My Favorite Murder, and others. True Crime Podcast Week. Let iHeartRadio be your podcast player. iHeartRadio, your music, your stations and podcasts too. All free. iHeartRadio.
Your ABC 6 first warning weather for today, mostly cloudy, cool. A stray passing shower is likely, high of 45. For tonight, mostly cloudy, cold, high of 27. For Sunday, snow showers are possible, 1 to 3 inches, potentially by Sunday evening. More south, though, than north, high of 33. It is currently 39 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
News Radio 610 WTVN.
When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful, a miracle. Oh, it was beautiful, magical, and all the birds in the trees, well, they be singing so happily, oh, joyfully, oh, playfully, watching me. But then they sent me away, teach me how to be sensible.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LEPD studio with Ronnie, who makes up the Gunsmith Room Boom Tactical. JC from the sales team, Pawpaw, sits to my left. I'm sorry, Pawpaw, though I had you all psyched up on that.
Well, I was psyched up on that, but then I didn't recognize that from the list. So that must be something
I think
that
I gave Scott the wrong song.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right artist, wrong song.
You just don't do although the song was good.
Good song.
Good song, but
Good
you
song.
just don't
Do you
mess
even
up.
know who sings that song?
That's Janis Joplin.
No.
You told me Guy Lombardo, and I told you that was probably not right.
Was it a girl or a guy? I couldn't tell.
Well, the band's kind of named after a girl.
Okay.
Right, guys? You know who
Yep.
the band is named after? Supertramp.
Yeah.
Supertramp. Real nice.
I was gonna throw some names out there, but apparently not.
Better not.
So, JC, before we get to the gun of the week, you had a one-liner here.
Yeah, we got a one-liner here. But just so you know, to keep track of this, we know that House Bill 228 has been passed, vetoed, overridden. It's going to go into effect on the 28th. But we did have that picadillo where the Legislative Services Commission made a drafting error in that bill. Well, the correction of the drafting error passed the Senate by vote at 24-8 on Tuesday this week. And then on Wednesday, the House also passed 76-20, passed the correction. So it's no big deal, but it should have been corrected. But here's the good thing. They also both of them voted in favor of an emergency clause. An emergency clause, when a bill goes into effect, it goes into effect the day that the governor signs it. You don't have a 90-day waiting period like you do on most bills. So this will actually, the correction on the shockwave, which is one of the things you'll be allowed to buy, will go into effect actually before House Bill 228 goes into effect. And that should be March 28th for House Bill 228 being in effect.
Okay, when is my?
As soon as the governor signs it. When the governor signs it, you can give him a call and ask him to sign it, and then there you go. So that's really good news. And maybe we talk about the Oath thing a little bit later, or not? Because
actually, you may as well mention that.
Right,
That's
is really
huge.
Good. Hey, this is kudos, and we are so lucky to have a new Attorney General, Dave Yost. He is a friend of all of us. What a great guy. He's been on the show. He actually joined two friend of the court briefs asking the United States Supreme Court to review a pair of lower-level court rulings that restricted access to guns. And, of course, it came out of New Jersey and then District 9. That's always a big. But listen to his quote. This is our new Attorney General. He said that he wanted other state officials he joined and justices. He wanted the state Supreme Court to devise clear limits on state laws that inhibit the exercise of the right to keep and bear arms. That's his quote. Another part of his actual quote is, Americans shouldn't have to prove to the government that they need to exercise their right to freedom of speech or to any other of the constitutional rights, including the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment, they can't be exercised their right to keep and bear arms if the state prohibits them from acquiring those arms to begin with. So he's joined 21 other attorneys generals and governors in the nation in asking the Supreme Court to really review these lower decisions. So we're really, my hat's off to Dave Yost. He's a great guy, and he's jumped on this right away. So anyway, we're really hoping for a positive outcome on this as the first major Supreme Court case in 10 years.
With all the things that are going on out there, it's good to have solid people like him in there representing us. So, Ronnie, it's the gun of the week. This one is really neat. It is hot off the press. We got one in. I wasn't thrilled about it. Then you started telling me all kinds of things about it I didn't know. Now I want one. What do you have?
Well, the gun of the week. No, it's not a Shockwave. No, it's not a KelTec. I was going to say no, it's not a Remington TAC-14, but it's a KelTec KS7 that was announced at SHOT Show this week or this year, and it's an incredible firearm. It's different than the KSG in that it's a single stack. There's only one magazine that comes back. And some really cool things about it, before we get into other things, is that the overall length is just a half-inch difference between the Shockwave and the TAC-14. All those people that wanted that, those two shotguns for home defense because they could maneuver them inside their house and stuff freely. Now you're going to have one that's a half-inch longer, and it has an 18.5-inch barrel.
So you're back to a full-size barrel. You're not giving any on the barrel length. You have plenty of capacity.
It's actually shorter than the Shockwave.
Shorter
by a quarter of an inch, and you have a stock, you have a pistol grip,
and you can
have a
shoulder
bullpup,
right.
and an 18.5-inch barrel.
Yeah, and
it's incredible.
It holds 7 3-inch rounds. Okay, not 2 1/4, but 7 3-inch shells. Okay, so John and I were trying to figure it out, but a lot of people are familiar with the shotgun mini shells and stuff, and I think that it will hold. What?
About 12, because that's what we say for the
12.
for the KSG.
Yeah.
The KSG, which holds 4 plus 1 with both, and holds 24 plus 1, so 12.
And I've already seen a video online of it shooting those very well. I mean, a guy just pow, 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 pow.
And lightweight. Look at the weight.
Yeah.
It's under 6 pounds.
Under 6 pounds.
How does that compare to like a Shockwave, you think, weight-wise?
The Shockwave is 5.25 pounds, and the KSG is 5.9 pounds. Or KS7
is 5.9. So just about a half a pound heavier.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
and some other things, some people were like, oh, that rail looks really funky on there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The sight rail, which I kind of like because when you shoulder it, boom, that sight's right there.
It's right there.
But at the same time, a lot of people don't realize this. You can take that flat Picatinny rail off of a KSG, and it will fit directly onto the KS7. So you could, in effect, have the KS7 with that flat Picatinny rail on it.
So you could mount
be
that.
sweet.
It would also make
Yeah.
a much slimmer profile.
Yeah.
It's lightweight. We got one in. I sold it even before it was here for
thanks,
a day,
John.
and so we didn't have it here
And
to
so,
show everybody. But
just my luck. I've been just dying to have one of those TAC 14s, and now they come out with the KS7. We're going to be allowed to own the TAC 14, and I'm have to decide which one I get.
Okay, which one do I have, Eric?
You have a TAC 13.
He's got a TAC 14.
TAC 14
Okay.
in wood, though. Don't
Now,
have wood
you
stock?
remember,
beautiful.
you remember what I've always said, part of gun ownership is feeling good about how your gun looks, okay?
Right.
Now, when I bring in, and I will bring in my, what TAC 14 with the walnut grips and sling and everything else that Ronnie, you drove over when I brought it in, and we'll see which one looks better.
All right.
Well,
okay?
now I'll tell you what. I'll give you that right away. The TAC 14 will look better, but when it comes to shouldering it or trying to shouldering it and busting your eye out and
Oh, I don't shoulder it, not at all.
Yeah, but with the KS7, I mean, you're right up on it.
And it was totally legal even before the Shockwave bill and everything came in. You could own this because of the barrel length. It's a bullpup, so it's shorter, longer barrel. It's an incredible gun for the home.
It feels light. I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the gentleman who bought it said it had a little recoil to it.
He said it even had recoil with the mini shells, but boy, I'll tell you, that's a great home defense gun.
You can get into that recoil. You can
Right.
Whereas with the Shockwave, I mean, it's just
you're just holding it.
Right.
It's a handheld kind of a deal. So yeah.
Good gun of the week, Ronnie. I wish there was one here for me to buy.
Yeah.
So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of our most popular firearms that you may not have heard of. We're on target, broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range. We'll be right back after the news.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text TRY to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text TRY to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's TRY to 350-350.
News, traffic, and weather for Columbus. News Radio 610 WTVN.
News Radio 610 WTVN. I'm Sean Gallagher. Officials with the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium are saying the early stages of construction on the new Adventure Cove habitat are underway and on schedule. The zoo said this week they expect Adventure Cove to be ready for its public opening in the spring of 2020. Adventure Cove will encompass 7 acres and feature sea lions, seals, and hundreds of other aquatic animals around a pool filled with 370,000 gallons of water. Construction project leaders say even with the harsh winter Central Ohio has experienced, they have completed around 25% of the habitat. With a new owner, a new head coach, and a new stadium plan in place, the Columbus Crew will open up the 2019 season at Moffray Stadium as they host the New York Red Bulls. Kickoff is scheduled for 4:30. Your ABC 6 First Warning weather forecast today, mostly cloudy with a high of 45. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 27. I'm Sean Gallagher for breaking news and weather alerts instantly. Follow us on Twitter at 610 WTVN News.
This is Eric with LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility. If you're a business owner in need of a personalized gift for your employees this season, CNS Engraving is one-stop shopping for all your engraving needs. From promotional items to customized products to unique OSU licensed gifts, the quality of work from CNS is simply the best in Central Ohio. Want to make your firearm unique, or do you need an NFA item engraved? Do what we do and call our good friends at CNS Engraving, 614-929-2726. Come see their work at LEPD or stop by their storefront in Powell.
Are you thinking about making your first firearm purchase or looking to add to your collection? Stop by and check out over 200 used firearms in stock at LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility on Bethel Road. From modern pistols, old revolvers, to classic rifles, you'll find a wide variety with inventory changing daily. Check out their current used inventory at lepd.com or stop by the store and experience the best holster selection in Central Ohio. Great deals are waiting for you at LEPD, 999 Bethel Road, or on the web at lepd.com. Winning Retirement Radio, Sundays at 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. on 610 WTVN.
Live from LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LEPD studios with my father, co-owner Phil, sits to my left. JC from the sales team sits shoulder to shoulder with me, and Ronnie, who makes up Boom Boom Tactical, the gunsmith, the armor.
The gunsmith.
The armor, a little bit of everything, sits to my far right. Guys, on the show, we talk about a lot of the latest and greatest firearms and accessories that come to market. We're always excited, the KelTec KS7 and so forth. But there's also an undercurrent of some not so common firearms that we may mention from time to time, but are some of the most popular ones here at the store. Today, though, we're going to take a step back and talk about some of those common firearms and accessories that you may not even know about. They kind of have, some of them have kind of a cult following. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the top of the list. I'm going to throw it out there, guys, and you guys tell me what your thoughts are on it and any things off the top of your heads, because we haven't talked about the list ahead of time. So, okay, you guys ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
All right, everyone, turn to page 4 in your mistolette there.
Page 4.
Okay. So the Smith & Wesson, it's got to be good, right? Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
SDVE series.
Okay.
Comes in a 9 and a 40. It's their entry level, by all accounts. Their entry level semi-auto, inexpensive, not quite the quality of the M&P series.
A little more stampings, yeah.
But it's a Smith & Wesson, and personally, I'd take it any day over some of the other entry-level companies.
And it's still good quality. It's just it's striker fired. They're both striker fired, but it doesn't have a sear, and it's a little different setup as far as the trigger. It's double action only, as compared to double single or single action. But it is. It's nice.
Personally, I think it's a great gun for those on a limited budget who want a really quality gun. The SD, that's Smith & Wesson, that stands for self-defense. It's Smith & Wesson self-defense for the entry level, and that's all you want is reliability. This is what I recommended actually to my attorney brother-in-law, because he wasn't really into guns but wanted something to defend his family and wanted something that was high quality. And the old SW was bad, but it looks very similar. But the SD, their self-defense VE, excellent gun. I personally know a guy who has the 40 and has over 10,000 rounds through it. And it's still going. Hasn't replaced the springs, hasn't done anything. And he says, look, it just shoots great. The grips aren't interchangeable or anything. Gun from the past, but it's a great value, and if you want something like that, it's a great place to go.
Right, and if and it's still I'm assuming it carries the lifetime Smith & Wesson warranty.
Smith & Wesson warranty.
So why wouldn't you get it if you're looking at certain things out there? So, and it's a great one. That's a great entry level firearm that is out there, and that we sell quite a few of that not a lot of people know about when you're talking about.
One thing I like, they put thumbprints in there telling you where to put your trigger finger and where to put your thumb when you hold the gun. They put a thumbprint on each side of the thing. I thought that's pretty clever.
Yes, yep. So the Smith & Wesson SDVE series. So guys, here's another one for you that really around here has become extremely popular. A bunch of us have already bought them, but out there in the market, you don't hear about them. Right? They've become, they've really had a kind of a cult following since the mid-'70s, I think. And we've featured them from time to time. I think we've actually even had them on the show. But the Sea Camp series of very, very small, deep concealment pistols are phenomenal quality, almost heirloom quality of firearms.
It's almost like they're handmade. I mean, they're small. They are the most considerable. Truly a pocket. When they say a pocket pistol, it's like a shirt pocket pistol. So the 380s even come with an extra spring, I think.
I like them a lot. I'm a big guy. My fingers don't fit in there real well, and they are pricey. I mean, they're expensive.
They've come down, though. Like in the last year, they've dropped $100.
Wow.
And what's neat is they come 25 ACP. So if you're sensitive, 32, which is the most popular.
Yeah, that's a and that size gun. Yeah.
That's what Popo, you have one.
Yep.
Lori has one. I think 2 or 3 of the sales guys have one, and 32. I have the 380.
Ooh,
you know
masochistic.
You know, I tell you what, it's a 380 that sits well within the palm of your hand.
Yeah. And if you enjoy spanking, this one will spank you.
but you're still you're carrying a 380. I mean it's 6 or 6+1. I think still a 380. So when it's deep concealment, going in, to the gym, working out or whatever.
And this particular firearm is just down and dirty. Has no sights, right?
Yeah.
You point shoot, which is what I say you should practice anyways.
Exactly.
And and it's for close range.
Yep.
And just a very basic design.
It's got that Hawkbill manual release on the magazine, too, so it's not a button. So but I'm telling you, it's a great pocket.
What's that called again? That
What? Release. I just call it the Hawkbill, but I don't know. It's the bottom magazine release. It's
almost like a
spring
European
style.
Yeah,
it is a European style. Yeah.
That's the only part that I don't like because I fumble with it and everything
so
trying to get it
small.
out.
I don't know how they get a little button on the gun is so small. But anyway, it's a great gun. Great quality.
Great little guns. We're talking about some of the most popular firearms here at the store. If you have one yourself, you want to call in and tell us about 614-21 WTVN is the number. Ronnie.
I kind of have one.
Lay it.
Now, the only thing is, it's a new one.
Okay.
But it's one that nobody has been talking about that I think is really cool. And I'm not a KelTec fanboy, believe me, okay?
Yep.
But at the same time, they have the KelTec CP33, which shoots 22 LR.
Yep.
And it has a straight Picatinny rail on the top, and it's supposed to be really nice and a lot of fun. So.
Great one. I mean, that's and you know what? That kind of goes hand in hand with the next one up that I had here that has been a big seller for us for years, but a lot of people don't know about it. The PMR 30, which is KelTec.
And I often think to myself, how could somebody not know about that?
Why?
It's a cool gun.
It is. I mean, it holds 30 rounds of 22 Magnum. Now, maybe not the most offensive of rounds. It's it's sometimes
it's a barker. I'm telling you.
It is.
But you know what? If you unload 30 rounds into somebody, then it's probably a.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to stick around? I mean, after the first 10, 12, I think you'd want to move on. But it's super lightweight. We used to call it the poor man's FN57 because 22 mag. And, just think about it. A box can't even fold 2 magazines. I mean, you get 30 rounds in each one.
And ammo technology is changing. So some of the 22 WMR rounds out there with the hollow points and stuff like that, hey.
The neat thing about it, too, hardly any recoil. The whole family can shoot it. I know when Luke was small, it was one of his favorite guns to shoot because it had a big old fireball. It comes in 10 different colors. High-vis sights, really a fun.
When you pick it up, everyone goes, oh, wow. I mean, that's their first expression, but it's a great gun. So if you're looking for recoil-sensitive guns for recoil-sensitive people, that's a great place to look.
And I think I broke yours, didn't I?
That old one, a long time ago. The neat thing about that, too, is when they first came out, I don't know if you remember this, Dad. I think this is when I was still doing it in my basement. They put a video out there. KelTec put a video in their range, and they had one of their workers sitting there with 3 fully loaded mags, so 90 rounds. And it was, I think the whole thing was 90 rounds in 60 seconds or 90 rounds in 30 seconds. And he just went up there, did a mag dump at the first 30, dropped the mag, next one, 30 more rounds, dropped the mag, and it was just fireball, 90 rounds. It was impressive.
Fantastic.
I bet
gun.
you that was a little warm after that.
Probably so.
No, it was a little warm. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know about it, come in and see it.
Yep.
We've got like 4 of them sitting here in different colors, so they're great.
And you can't talk about that without talking about the Big Brother,
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't know
Yeah,
about.
don't even know about it. Yeah.
Yeah. The CMR30 carbine. It takes the same magazine. So if you have the pistol, like I do, you can take that magazine and put it immediately in the carbine, and it has like a little tiny collapsible stock, a blast to shoot.
And it's
And I
got,
think-
this time it's got over a 16-inch barrel to make it legal as a carbine. So,
Right.
but 16.25-inch barrel, I believe, with that collapsible stock, same magazine.
I think it'd be a great survival gun too.
Oh,
definitely.
With the stock collapsed or retracted, it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's really cool. So we got one of those in here too. So stop in and take a look at that one. That's a great,
Right,
great
and then
gun.
I hear the talk on the street, since we're on this KelTec kick, is that there's going to be a KelTec Day coming up soon. So some of these you may be able to come.
I'm gonna
You
show
may
up
be
for
able
that
to
one,
come
so,
try
yeah.
out. So
Maybe I am becoming a KelTec.
I know. You know what? You kind of look around, and then you start to see. A lot of us who've been around for a while. When you think of KelTec, Dad, I think of the gun shows and
Gun
your
show.
famous line.
And I said, don't ever buy that for me.
And that was the P3AT at the time. It was plastic.
yeah.
There's not
Oh,
much
it was,
to
it was like a toy. It was real lightweight, and it didn't look all that well.
And
but
then
it was,
how many years later did you have one then?
yeah, but it was reliable.
Yep.
That's
Law
reliable.
law
Lightweight.
enforcement officers were buying those for backups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was at one point there I had sold a couple of the decent sized departments around town. Their backups were that. And
that's
JC,
how,
yeah.
That's how you and I met. Was I bought one off
Is
you,
that
and then
the
I
one
bought another one.
Is that
I-
the one you fell on that was in your back pocket?
Yes, and it left. A matter of fact,
That's
that bruise
right.
was so deep you could read the serial number on my cheek. So it was, that was bad. But the gun is just great. Left a great impression on me, so to speak. It was it's a really great gun.
All right, you guys got any other ones, or do I
Okay.
continue with my list?
Oh, well, let's go. I mean, I have
All right.
the same ones I have is pretty much
Okay.
what you have.
So this one we talked about recent times. It's kind of one of those fringe guns. We're selling quite a few of them, but a lot of people don't know anything about them. I'm not sure of the place other than kind of just neat. But the Trailblazer firearms, the Lifeguard 22 and now 22 Magnum, and as they said on our show a couple weeks ago, there's other stuff coming about. But these are really neat, and they said they fit in the Altoid can. They fill up. They fold up to the size of a thick credit card.
Yeah, a thick credit card, right. And like you said, that fits in an Altoid mint can. So, and it's a 22 Magnum or a 22.
And how would you carry that?
Carefully.
We have holsters.
We do.
We have several holsters
but
for that, yeah.
Don't you, like if you need it, you have to assemble it just about?
One button, and the trigger appears, and you're good to go.
You unfold, and you pull it back for manual cocking of the firing pin, and there you go. So
And
there's
I
a
always
backup.
wondered too: is there a half cock for it? So if you're pulling that back to charge it, and your
You
hands
slip-
are
I don't
slippery?
know. That's a good point.
We should test that one of these days.
I've never
just
shot
to-
mine.
Yeah. Oh, you have one?
Okay, Ronnie.
Ah.
Okay, Ronnie, you test it.
Well, one of our employees has
I'd
one.
be
I'm certain
happy
he's so I'm certain that he'll let us shoot it. So but there you go. It's a good one.
So guys, one more before we go into break.
We were in the KelTec. I got to add mine. I don't think it's on the list. The sub
Okay.
the sub 2000, the KelTec sub 2000. This is, if you haven't thought about something concealable in a pistol caliber carbine, this folds up to 16.2 inches. Think about it. 16.2 inches, folds right in half. We have them that take Glock magazines, Smith & Wesson magazines. We have FN, we have Beretta, and we have, if you don't get the Glock, because the Glock's got a bigger magazine and it's a kind of a standalone, but the other ones, you can convert them. So you can have your Smith & Wesson and convert it to take a Beretta magazine if you have a Beretta, or vice
CZ.
versa, or CZ. And we have those really simple kits to switch those over. And it is reliable. It's a little bullpup. You can watch on YouTube and see people shooting 1-inch groups at 50 yards with this thing. And again, it folds into 16.2 inches. Stock is adjustable, not each time, but you pull out a pin, you adjust it to where you want it and put it back in. It doesn't change the overall length. It is It's a great gun. Great gun.
Great gun.
So,
You can little high cap mag in there with the rifle. Great survival gun, truck gun, you name it. And one that is when you go to the range with it, hardly any recoil because it's pistol caliber.
It's pistol caliber.
Right.
And it's been around for a while, and there's a lot of fairly cool accessories.
There is.
Scope mounts and
yes.
Yeah.
All kinds of neat things.
We don't have them in 45, but we do have them in 9mm and 40 caliber.
Yep. I wish they'd come out with a 357 SIG in that.
That'd be a smoker. There you go.
Welcome back. We'll continue our discussion on some of our popular firearms around the store that you might not have heard of. We're on Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms and Range. We'll be right back after the break.
The Mark Blazer Show, Monday at 3.
If you have kids, watch out. There's a thing going around that involves vanilla extract and coffee. And how about legalizing marijuana nationwide? It's called the Marijuana Justice Act. Good idea? Bad idea? We'll discuss. Talk to you Monday at 3. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Hey, this is Paul from OnTarget. Around the store, I'm known as a tough guy and the enforcer. I usually don't do commercials. However, when it comes to our new sponsor, Toyota West, I told Eric this is all mine. Since the late 1980s, I have been going to Toyota West for all of my new car and truck purchases. They are located at 270 in Georgesville Road. My main man there is Dean, who has been with the dealership over 13 years. That's got to say something for the caliber, excuse the pun, and experience you'll find at Toyota West. In the market for a new or used vehicle? Don't screw up. Go visit Toyota West. Tell them Paul sent you.
If you're looking to turn your basement into something beautiful by adding natural light, remember Jackson Egress Windows, locally owned and operated, and Angie's List Super Service Award winner. Jackson Egress Windows can change your dingy basement into something special that will add value to your home. Whether you're looking to add an extra bedroom or game room or just a place to hang out, call Jackson Egress Windows for an estimate today. 614-260-5130. See examples of their work at JacksonEgressWindows.com.
Your ABC6 first warning weather for today. Mostly cloudy, cool. A stray shower is possible, high of 45. For tonight, mostly cloudy, cold, and it's going to get down to 27 for the high tonight. So for Sunday, snow showers are likely. 1 to 3 inches are possible by Sunday evening. More south, less north of the city, high of 33. It's currently 39 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Your station for news, traffic, and weather. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Was this one of your requests, Paul? Yep. Now, you probably didn't request it from this band, though.
No, I didn't.
You knew what the band is?
Well, it was supposed to be the Bobby Fuller 4, I thought.
I think that's the original.
Yeah.
But this has probably been one of the more popular ones later on, The Clash.
Yeah, well, I think that's I think that's the name I gave.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it, buddy. I have to slam the forecast again. That's my MO. That's my MO, and I can't let the show go by without me saying something. Yesterday was 2 to 4.
2 to 4 what?
Inches. Possible. Today is 1 to 3. Any best for what it's going to be tomorrow? I bet you.
Very, very cold.
I bet you it's going to be a dusting. You watch.
Probably.
And then they get themselves off the hook by saying, in isolated areas, some people will get a little bit more, some a little bit. Come on, you know.
Well, you know what?
I can do that. I can say that.
We got about 3 inches at the house. I'm in Clintonville, and we got about 3 inches.
When?
When it's the other night where it snowed and then melted the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know, if you ever watch the national news, their big thing now is that 7 million people could be affected by this. And it's just a rainstorm coming through the middle part of the country, but they add up all the populations. And 7 million people might get wet today.
I like that one term that they came up with. The one term, tornadic.
Yes.
We have some tornadic activity out there.
Yeah. Don't be tornadic.
That's right. And Papa, what's your famous line? If it
changes every half an hour, it ceases to be a forecast.
Right. There you go.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just look out the window. Just look out the window.
So welcome back to On Target.
All right, I'm sorry.
Are you done?
That's your daily. Yeah.
Well, I used to work at a job where I depended heavily on
Apparently
the forecast.
he's not done.
No, it's just that I'm very sensitive to that. Okay. All right. Now I'm done.
Okay. So we're talking today about other than the forecast.
All right.
Talking about some of the most popular firearms in the store that you may not have heard of before. And it's funny because a lot of these seem to be coming back to KelTec and some of these that are our favorites and stuff. JC, did you have one there? I saw you.
Well, I'm looking at, we don't have much time left to cover all this stuff, but I do see on your list that the CZ Compact. I'm telling you, CZ makes incredible products. A lot of people don't know about them, but the 75 came out in 1975, so it's been around for a while, but now the compact version of it. So if you're into the CZs and you're into a Browning high-power-like gun, very, very similar to that, short, compact, double stack, it's a great one. The quality, there's nobody out there that said that the CZ75 isn't phenomenal. So it's really, really good.
Ronnie.
So,
he just said there's nobody out there that
says it. That wasn't phenomenal.
I think it's a very great gun, but it doesn't suit me. I mean, I can't grab the slide to rack it or manipulate it.
It does have a short.
So shallow.
A shallow.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they're enormously popular. They're all steel, right?
Yeah.
It's
they're
like
heavy.
a 1911. I mean, they're
like
steel
a Browning
on steel
high power,
frames,
which was had that same.
That's before my day, though.
Okay. All right. Well, wow.
So that's I mean, the CZ line is just incredible anyways, but yet let alone the CZ75, one of our big sellers, the compact there. And then, so guys, here's another one, and I know it sounds like the KelTec show, but one of my favorites is the PLR-16.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
It is so light, and it's technically a pistol, and it is a 223 or 5.56 pistol, and it is it weighs nothing.
Standard magazines, because I actually got mine from you.
I know.
So incredibly accurate. It's got a 9.2-inch barrel, so it is a pistol, but it takes any of the 5.56 magazines, military mags, what's a 30 round or whatever it comes with, I think a 10 round, but it's a lightweight. It is one of the when Gun Test Magazine tested, that was their pick. I didn't get the highest rating, but they said you could buy 3 or 4 of these for the price of their $2,000 pistol that they tested, and it's incredibly light, incredibly accurate, great gun.
What do you think, Ronnie?
Oh, I was just going to say, so everybody knows we are not sponsored by KelTec.
No.
The show is sponsored by KelTec. You know what I did with mine is they have a stock that you can purchase
now,
for it.
Now, that one I like.
Yeah.
And you had to get the tax stamp.
Yeah, you got to get a tax stamp for that one.
But it is super neat.
Yeah.
You know?
That one, I'm not a huge fan of it or what.
You should fire
that stock
on it.
Let me whip through. Are you going to make it there, Papa?
That was a good one. You just boom right in time.
FNS 9 won a phenomenal gun that we sell quite a few of. People don't come in asking for them. They don't do a very good job of advertising.
That's Fabrique Nationale. So the FNH, they furnish about 85% of all the U.S. military's weapons. So FN is a great company, and they have that Compact 9.
That one that we went goo over was an FNX 9, right?
That was the 509 tactical.
Oh yeah. Sorry guys.
Yeah, the X would have a hammer. So,
but those are great. A ton of accessories too. I mean,
accessories. We got to talk about this Sightmark. I'm telling you, these are so good. We are now a distributor, right? For Sightmark, we're a dealer for Sightmark. If you're looking for a high quality but at a medium price range. I just went over there, and our most expensive one's under $200, and they make red dots, and then they also make the magnifier that comes with it. You can mount behind it and look right straight through the sight. The quality of them is so good. I guess a couple of local county SWAT teams have used them because the M spec, their military spec one, under $200, waterproof to 40 feet below, military grade shockproof because that's what they want to market it to. So it meets the United States military requirements for shockproof. 1,000-hour battery life, and we've got it right here, and it's can snap on and snap off. That's just one of them. We have 13 different ones that we have.
I call them the high end of the low end sights.
They are,
and they have a 1x4 scope for what 210 or something like that. That's just phenomenal.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
so stop by and check it out, guys. That is it. Out of time. Next week we're going to talk about a new class that we're rolling out. We might have one of the trainers jump on with us. Have a great week. Next week, JC has the gun of the week. Thanks for listening to us. Stop by and see us. We're at 999 Bethel Road, and watch for the sale. The spring cleaning sale is going to be one you definitely want to watch, where there's going to be some great deals in there.
Absolutely.
Have a great week. Stay warm, and go check out the Arnold, too.
All right.
Have you looked for your dream Hyundai recently? Been overwrought by inventory, haggling for price, and kept around waiting? You should feel what it's like to drive for better with Dennis Hyundai. Your color, your upgrades, and your financing options, all with Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Experience the future of car buying at DennisHyundai.com or check out the redesigned 2019 Santa Fe at Dennis Hyundai on Morse Road and in Dublin. Dennis Hyundai, driving for better.
Have you ever wanted to speak another language?
Oh, yeah, there, Scotty.
Whether you want to speak Spanish, French, or...
Yep, go ahead, man. So that's
All right, here we go.
Speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
This is Eric from OnTarget. This week we talk about a new class offering at LEPD, and JC has the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Tune in Saturday at 1 p.m. or live from LEPD Studios on Bethel Road.
I got it.
This is Eric from OnTarget. This week we talk about a new class offering at LEPD, and JC has the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. or live from LEPD Studios on Bethel Road.
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning
This is
app
Eric
in
from
Europe.
OnTarget. Today we talk about a new class offering at LEPD, and JC has the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Tune in at 1 p.m. or live from LEPD Studios on Bethel Road.
Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, BABBEL.com.
All right, buddy. Looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good week. Be safe, man.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
News Radio 610 WTVN, Columbus.